Cost Plus World Market opened in 1958 on Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco. Founder William Anthor started selling a few imported pieces at his standard furniture store, and when he discovered that they flew off the floor, he decided to open an entire store dedicated to merchandise from around the globe. Today, there are over 260 stores in the U.S. where they sell not only furniture, but also kitchenware, jewelry, and most importantly, snacks. Today, we lean back on a flower-patterned chaise, put our feet up on a wicker basket, tear open some imported snacks, and ask, "You tried that?" You Tried Dat, Cost Plus World Market Edition. I'm Nick Novak with my pals Chad Hancock.
Howdy.
Nick Geiger.
What up?
So
Now, Novak,
Yeah?
before we get into this, there's something we got to address. We got to address the elephant in the room. Okay. Now, in our Thanksgiving episode, we devoted a large portion of time, maybe too large, to discussing a certain Strokes the Clown. Now, I have it. So after that was a fictional creation by us. But if you go on Google now, today, and search for Strokes the Clown, you will see a picture of a clown with a caption underneath it that says Strokes the Clown. Guys, I think we have our first official fan art. What do you think?
I'm probably
Likely.
yes.
Does this Strokes the Clown resemble anything of what we described? Is he a deviant? Is it clear that he...
Well, that's where my theory falls apart, because they were thinking of a different type of stroke. So I think like the right half of his face is droopy.
Who's this artist?
So maybe it's not fan art, but I like to believe that it is.
That's not classy at all. Like the one we were talking about, where we were talking about a clown who slowly jerks
Right.
himself off.
Right.
They crossed the
Right.
line. Right.
The other thing we should address before we get started here is this Oreo flavor. So the day we're recording this is the day after the mystery Oreo episode came out. Not to date this too much, but the flavor was not revealed yesterday. It actually has not been revealed yet. But guys, we fucked up. It's almost certainly churro, right?
That's what,
And we
right.
figured that out shortly after.
Yeah, based on some information on the package.
There's like clues
Yeah, I
on the
did not know
package
there was
that
a
we
riddle on the
totally
bottom.
glossed over. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, we fucked up. We are not good detectives at all, I think is the moral of that story, because we didn't even bother to look to see if there was clues on the package.
Which, can I just say, if you're going to do a whole mystery based, like, why put a very obvious researchable riddle on the bottom? That just totally invalidates the entire thing. Because it's like a contest. Like, so what do you have 8 million people writing in saying churro and fighting for like one golden ticket or something? It's fucking stupid.
Do you guys think it tasted at all like churro?
Never had a churro.
I guess I guess if you told me churro before I ate it, I could believe it. It wasn't way off base. But it is. I don't know. I guess I agree that they shouldn't put a
Right.
clue on there that I shouldn't be able to figure out what the mystery flavor is without ever putting the thing in my mouth.
Yeah. I think that, I mean, I've never had churro, but I assume it's like cinnamon and sugar and spice like that. So that adds up with like the kind of things we were guessing, like nutmeg and Strokes the Clown's cum and stuff like that. But so I think it was
our top guess.
That was the number one guess. I don't think we're going to get it. The riddle was, this makes Strokes very sticky.
Man, so we've made a number of mistakes recently. We are the kind of people that just clear the air here, but we've done it. And I feel bad that we made a mistake that Strokes the Clown actually was a clown who had a stroke. So we apologize for that.
Yeah, we really shouldn't have laid into him so much in that episode. He's had an unfortunate medical history.
We've made about 75 straight mistakes and continue to do this podcast every week, wasting our time and our families. But we'll get through that. We're not apologizing for that, though. Sorry.
So, Chad, you recently your neighborhood had a run-in with a rogue motorcyclist. Is that correct?
So I'll tell you about this story about this neighborhood motorcycle saga. So there's this motorcycle that's been parking out directly in front of our house. The parking spot between our house and the next house over is too small for a regular car. So no cars ever park there. And that used to be great. It was really easy to pull in and out of the driveway. But lately, this motorcycle has started parking there. And this guy has done like a lot of customizations to his motorcycle. And so one of the things that he did was not have a muffler. So this motorcycle is so fucking loud. So he comes over and he works like nights. So he comes over at like 8 o'clock every night right outside of our house and starts up the motorcycle. And it sits there like while he's like putting on his like gloves, jacket, helmet, etc., etc. It's going on for like a minute, and then eventually he just like revs away at like full speed, right? Super loud, just cruising through the neighborhood. Whatever. I was less annoyed by the noise as I was by the fact that now it's like a little bit harder to pull into my garage. So that's sort of the backstory. But there's been like actually a real roller coaster ride of my emotions for this guy. So like I kind of hated him, you know? But then, and to the point where one day he forgot to move his motorcycle for street cleaning, and I came down to go to work and I saw there was like a parking ticket on his motorcycle, and I did like a little fist pump. Like I was very happy about that. But then it turns out that this guy's got multitudes, right? He's not actually a total asshole. One day we were coming home and we had the baby in the car and she was asleep in the car seat, and he was coming over to like start up his motorcycle, but he saw us like take the baby out of the car seat, and he like stopped what he was doing because he knew like it'd be so fucking loud it'd probably wake up the baby. He waited like a good 5 minutes for us to like sneak the baby upstairs and like whatever else before he like started his thing up. So after that I was like, oh, maybe this guy's like not so bad, you know? So now I like actually kind of feel for the guy. Also, somebody like ran into his motorcycle the other day and knocked it over and like kind of cracked it, and then like just hit and ran the motorcycle. So I also kind of felt bad for him with that. So like I said, it's sort of been like a real roller coaster. So the other day I come out and I see this note. So somebody has taped a like a printed out note. They printed out a note from their computer and taped it with duct tape to the cement, like the street next to where he parks his bike. And I want to read you guys this note and get your thoughts on it. Now I'm going to redact some of the street names because I don't necessarily want everybody listening to this podcast to know where I live, just half of you. So here's what the note says. Dear neighbor, we'd like to stop the insane 3 a.m. wake-ups. Can you please take a left on this one street and go up to this other intersection that doesn't go past our house when you come home? If you go up that street, then your approach will be on Flatter Road. Please stop coming up our street where you have a climb and then a stop sign and then another climb that maximizes the excessive noise of your bike. Thank you for your consideration. So my question is now, who's the asshole? The bicyclist, the motorcycle guy, or the person who wrote that note? Where do you guys come down?
Okay, I need a little background. How old is this guy with the motorcycle?
I would say he's late 20s, maybe early 30s.
Do you have any idea if he works a night job? He's a bartender or something like that?
Yeah,
or if he's just out like cruising chubbies or something?
No, he does work at a nightclub, which we know because we've seen after he got that hit and run post on, or after his motorcycle got hit and run, he posted about it on Nextdoor, and we recognized his picture and stuff. And so then we like looked him up and saw he does work at a nightclub.
All right. So then the guy kind of has, we had the same instance of where we lived. We were evicted from an apartment that Chad and I lived in together because we were walking around at night, and it's when we were servers, when multiple people we lived with were servers. So this guy has to come home at 3 a.m. and his method of transportation is a motorcycle. I assume he doesn't also have a car.
Yep.
So here's the thing. If you choose to live in a city-ish environment, right? If you choose to live where there are lots of cars and lots of people around, then you have to understand that there's probably going to be car noises at different times of the night. So unless this guy's just doing figure eights and wheelies like up and down the block, then I think, then in my opinion, the asshole is the person writing the letter. It seems like it's worded in a nice way, but it's clear they're a complete lunatic and that they've mapped out a different approach, which comes in on flatter ground. So I'm making my judgment. I'm siding with the motorcyclist. Geiger?
Yeah, there's a couple of competing factors for me. One, you said this guy goes on Nextdoor, which just right then and there, he sounds like an asshole. However, I'm with Novak. He made the exact point I was going to make. If you choose to live in a large metropolitan area, guess what? There is going to be noise. My wife and I lived in Chicago for a while. I mean, it's a giant city. At all hours of the night, there's people shouting in the streets. There's homeless people yelling. There's cars. There's like Strokes the Clown chasing like children into an alleyway. Like, help, help, please get him off me. There's
help,
me.
help, he's having a stroke.
Help, help, he's having a stroke and I don't know CPR. I'm just a child. Help, help, he's telling me to stroke him. All kinds of strokes related humor. Anyway, he's listening to the strokes while he's having a stroke. No, but I mean, the point is there's lots of noise and it's unavoidable. If you don't like it, don't live in San Francisco. Now, again, this is where the context is helpful. If he is just like sitting on the street, like revving his engine repeatedly, trying to show off like the Fonz or something, or some other more recent, less dated motorcycle reference, then yes, that he's a jerk. But I mean, if he's just going home it also is part of me is like, I'm just non-confrontational and it just drives me nuts when people like have to like go talk to the manager or have to leave a net. Like, well, I'm not going to stand for this. Like, just live your life, chill out, calm down. It's a temporary distraction. So I'm with the guy. I don't think there's much he can do.
Yeah.
Where did you fall in the end here, Jed?
I think this person who wrote the letter is a giant fucking douchebag. And here's why. I agree with you about like you shouldn't live in the city, blah, blah, blah. But it's not necessarily that pissed me off about him. Like if he wants to complain about loud noises, fine. But in his note, he says, don't come down my street. Don't wake me up at 3 a.m. Wake up my neighbors at 3 a.m. Go down another street, right? Like he's specifically saying like, not in my backyard with this loud noise. Right, which like just the fact that he's like trying to pawn it off on the other people in the neighborhood is like particularly shitty, I think.
So you have to now camp out at least one night and track what street this guy comes up. Is he affected at all by this letter or not?
The funny thing is he parks right in front of our house and he's never once woken us up at 3 a.m. So, like, who's this, like, loser that can't even, sleep through this guy?
Learn to sleep, loser.
You should block your own ears out. No, what you should do is you and all your neighbors should buy motorcycles and then just, like, consistently just have, like, a motorcycle gang that just drives up and down their block over and over and over. It's a costly prank, but I think it'd be worth it.
Okay, let's say you have to start at one end of your street, and you have to go to the other end. So let's say it's a decently long block. Now you have to get on this guy's motorcycle with your current level of motorcycling ability. Will you, one, make it to the other end, or two, will you even make it? Will you survive it all?
Are we taking the flat road one or the one that's like a super steep hill that this person
you have to
lives on?
Okay, we'll take whatever's the more treacherous route. So you're going up or down a hill. Do you think you could effectively get from one end to the other?
No. It's been like probably 6 or 7 years since I rode a bike in any, like a regular bicycle in any serious capacity. So I'm not sure I'm going to be any good on a motorcycle.
I mean, you could just barely rev it. Like you could just barely go down the street and just kind of push off with your feet, right?
Like Fred Flintstone it down the street?
Yeah.
No, let's say you have to get it up to 50.
What, 50? On a residential street?
What factors do I need to add in that result in your death?
Motorcycle was enough for me. There wasn't too much more. I remember, so I'd been on a motorcycle a few times. My dad used to have one, but so I lived in Milwaukee when Harley Davidson had its 100th anniversary, and the town was just overrun with Harleys. And if your neighbor hated one guy with a revving engine, I didn't sleep for a week because literally all hours of the night, and they're like, they would just dump them on the sidewalk because there was no place else to park them. So you'd really like try to walk around for work, like weaving my way through all these motorcycles. And I remember my dad used to listen to the Police Scanner at night because he was bored and had no hobbies or life. And so he would he was listening and he heard a cop. They were at the state fairgrounds, and he's like, "Yeah, there's some people just crashing here, like vagrants." And the dispatcher's like, "Well, just bring them in." He's like, yeah, there's like 2,000 of them, like just all these like guys that dumped their bike or just laying there sleeping.
Well, you
like,
better get started.
Biker vests. Yeah. It's and it's also like it was just nuts. So some of them were like rough and tumble kind of people, and then there's a lot of people who just like pretending to be rough and tumble. They just bought a Harley and bought a leather vest and were acting like the Fonz, like the most dangerous outlaw of all, Arthur Fonzarelli.
I assume that the guy that he wrote the letter to wasn't like a backwoods Wisconsin like Harley riding tough guy, or else he would
like 9-foot beard.
Right. Is it like a crotch rocket type of motorcycle, or what is it?
Yeah, it's a Kawasaki Ninja. So that's like the most crotch rockety of crotch rocket motorcycles.
Oh man, one person from Wisconsin gets on a Kawasaki and just crumples under their girth. There's no way. You need like a triply reinforced Harley to make it up there.
When your dad was listening to Police Scanner, did he often hear a lot of 1092, which is clown having a stroke?
Yeah. No, it especially picked up when the circus was in town. They'd have an uptick in the old 1092. Yeah, he also he hates Harleys with like a passion. He's like, oh, they're just overrated and they like vibrate on purpose. And so he was just. My dad could tend to be.
I mean, Harleys are stupid, so.
Yeah, they're dumb and they're way overpriced. They're a total lifestyle brand kind of thing. They're not necessarily the best bikes, from what I understand. I'm not a biker, clearly, but he would like. It was especially bad when they'd have those anniversaries because he was like already kind of grouchy at work, but he would just be a miserable cuss the entire week. He's like, "Oh, these fucking Harley drivers leaving their shit all over like they own the place." And the best part about the whole thing was that Harley, like I said, is a lifestyle brand. Like, there is no company that is more like in tune with creating an image than Harley, right? All their merchandise and stuff like that. And so for the 100th anniversary of Harley, who do you think they picked for the big act to appear? Like Dan Aykroyd was the host because he's a big Harley guy. All these like biker dudes, their gnarly beards and their BO and all that. Who do you think came out and played for all these people? It's a big music star.
Strokes.
Kid Rock.
Elton John. Elton John came out. Now, Kid Rock did open, actually. That was a good guess. But I mean, like, and they were just like, like they were like hurling beer cans at him. Like,
they booed him?
Hey. Yeah, I think, well, like, people weren't happy. It was like, are you ready to rock? You as a flamboyantly homosexual man. Like, what? Shit, what? Like,
the love tonight. The Harley people are just like,
his opening number was the Lion King theme song. It's this.
Did he at least
what the fuck is happening?
Did he at least play Saturday Night or something like that?
Oh, he played like his hits, but they're not like hard metal. You know, it's like, I don't think it's gonna be a long, long time. Like, I was like, what the fuck?
It definitely does not pair with Kid Rock.
Well, I think they were like, I heard they wanted to get the Rolling Stones and they cost too much money or weren't free, and they wanted to get Bruce Springsteen and all that. Like, and again, Elton John's a great artist. Let's be clear. I like Elton John quite a bit. And I'm not trying to paint all Harley people as like homophobes or anything, but it was not well received as I recall.
But they are.
Who am I kidding? No one listens to this anyway. Who gives a shit? Harley was, but Davidson was a pretty nice guy, from what I understand.
Well, we will have more Harley talk to come, but we should get into eating this food because we've got a lot to go, and I'm actually very hungry.
Yeah.
So we're going to be eating this food from Cost Plus World Market and rating it on a 5-point scale. A love dat, like dat, indifferent to dat, dislike dat, and hate dat. And Chad, is there any story because you're the one who attained these snacks for us?
Yeah, we were in Cost Plus because Cost Plus was having a sale on Hello Kitty merchandise, and whenever that happens, my wife kind of like wafts over to wherever it's happening, like Bugs Bunny following a pie or something, just like immediately at the store and like just stocking up on Hello Kitty shit. So while I was there, I'm like, well, check out the snacks. Have you guys shopped at Cost Plus a lot?
Not a lot, but I have shopped there before.
I don't even think I've stepped foot in one or know the location of one.
It is very interesting to walk in and you see like a whole bunch of booze and then a bunch of like random snacks and then like tables and chairs and stuff. Like it's just sort of like a weird mixed match of stuff. But I did get a pretty nice coffee table there a few years ago. So.
Booze, snacks, and a place to sit down. I'm good.
Yeah, pretty much. And Hello Kitty stuff. So something to masturbate to.
Do they let you drink the booze and eat snacks while sitting in the chairs? Or no?
I think you can sit in most of the chairs.
I'm sure I can physically sit in a chair. I just don't know if they let me eat the
Well, I don't know.
food there.
Sometimes you go into those stores and all the chairs have like signs on them that say like "Do not sit in this chair" or whatever. But I think they're pretty cool about sitting.
Now, did you know it started in San Francisco?
I didn't. That was news to me. So that makes me very excited to try this stuff. Represent SF.
We're gonna start with the big bar of chocolate, the milk chocolate with chai spice filling, and it has a big picture of an elephant on the front with a monkey riding on his back.
Now, this was the first one I picked out. This one jumped out at me because, as you guys know, I'm a big chai latte guy. Love me some chai lattes, and they actually sell my favorite brand of chai latte mix at Cost Plus, David Rio. So I figured, got to try this out.
Novak, are you a chai guy? Clearly, Chad is, but
Not really.
I am not either.
No.
I dislike chai quite a bit, actually.
Are you guys more of a shy guy?
Yes.
Oh, there's like caramel inside the little square. So it's divided into squares. What is that filling?
It's like it's like caramel with chai in it, I think.
It's a 3x3, 9 squares, big block, pretty decently sized, pretty heavy. The caramel inside is chai spice flavored, and it's sticky. It's very gooey, like it's drippy almost.
The chocolate's good.
So it's that type of caramel. All right, Geiger, you are our leadoff man. What do you think of this milk chocolate with chai spice filling?
I think I would love it if they kept the chai out of it. I just don't chai. So, the chocolate I think is actually pretty good chocolate. It's good taste to it. I like that caramello style, like gooey caramel like stuff. I don't know if this is actually caramel. Is trying to read the ingredients and it doesn't say it is. It might just be a vessel for the chai stuff. So I mean, in theory, this would be good. I just really don't like the flavor of chai, so I will give it an indifferent. It's not terrible. I could eat more of it. I just would prefer not to. So that is the elephant in the room for me. Is that I don't like chai.
And there is an elephant on the front of this picture. Yeah.
Right.
All right, Chad, Tiny Dancer. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I guess when I would eat this bar, I would say, "Can you feel the like tonight?" Because I think this is pretty good. I actually don't really taste too much. I mean, the chai is there a little bit, but I actually think it's kind of subtle. The chocolate and the caramel itself is more pronounced in the flavor here. I like that sort of, like Geiger said, I like that gooey inside to the chocolate. I think it's pretty good chocolate. So yeah, this is solid for me. I'm enjoying this. Like that.
Okay, on a different and alike, I need to thank you guys. Do you know why?
Because it's an Elton John song?
No.
Oh.
I want to thank you for saying what needed to be said.
Callback.
You pretty much touched on everything, but I sided more with Geiger. The chocolate is good. The chai is not great, but the chai isn't completely ruining things for me. I could eat it. It's just slightly off-putting. I'm also going to go with an indifferent. So 2 indifferents and a like. So a pretty decent start.
Novak, would you say any of this has been like fake or false to you?
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
Or would you say it's still real to you, damn it? Teed it up. I teed it up.
So stupid.
In a supremely unnatural way.
All right, let's move on to the Tex bar. So this is the Nestle Tex. It's a pretty big block of chocolate. I've never heard of that. I'm always surprised when I see a candy from a popular company like Nestle, and it's something I haven't heard of. And we did a bar that this reminds me of a little bit, the Lion Bar, where it looked like something you would see on a candy shelf, like in the grocery store, but it's just nothing we've ever seen. On the side it says rich, creamy Nestle milk chocolate with arrow center and filled biscuit wafers. And arrow is a trademarked term.
That's another bar, I think. That's there's like a Nestle Arrow or something, which is just that like chocolate middle layer, I think. Could be wrong.
And Novak, the reason you probably have never heard of this is a product of South Africa. If you read on the back,
couple ways you can tell it's not from the U.S. It says on the left, energy 85 kilojoules. So we do, or 850 kilojoules. We do calories here. I don't know how a kilojoule translates. And also they spelled center wrong. Arrow center with an R-E. Those motherfuckers.
All right.
We can also tell it's not from America because they don't tell other people how to spell the words.
I went to Nestle's and I wrote like a super passive-aggressive note that said like, don't spell it this way, spell it the other way, because I'm tired of 3 a.m. misspellings.
It's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
I was just about to say that.
Mm-hmm.
So was Elton John. That was the problem.
He came out to perform with Harley visibly erect.
He probably deserved the boo if that was the case, but...
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time.
All right.
Cock it, man.
All right. Chad. All right, Chad, you're up first.
This one's kind of tough because I did bite into it and I was like, oh, this is like a little harder than I would like. But I mean, it once you start chewing it, like it sort of melts away and the flavor is really good, actually. I think this is a pretty good bar. I'd get this again. I might like this a little more than the chai. So I'm gonna also give this one a like that.
All right. It could benefit. I do like it a lot. Now we didn't describe it too much, but there's a lot of layers of wafer in there with kind of a medium with chocolate part in the middle. There's almost something that it's not peanut butter in it, but there's something in it that chocolate tastes like slightly peanut buttery. I think it's just like a nice creamy chocolate. I really do like it. I wish it was a little softer. It's harder than a Crocodile Rock, which makes it a little tougher to eat.
You do realize that that song wasn't about actual rocks, right? Crack rocket is a geological formation, and deep
The lyrics are all different types of rock, aren't they? Like granite and limestone or something.
Shale.
I was very close to giving it a love dat. You know what? I'm gonna do it because I like it a lot. It's a nice surprise. I'm gonna give this bar a love dat. So I'm super surprised at this Tex bar. The big plus. Geiger?
Yeah, it's really good. I was trying to figure out what it reminded me of, and I might be getting it mixed up in my head, but it almost tastes like a thicker, squarer version of like if you stacked a couple Tim Tams on top of each other or something like that. It's like really tasty. I mean, forget Betty.
It reminds me of the it reminds me of the Kit Kat Big Cat.
Fucking stepping all over my shit.
He cut you off from your joke.
Sets up dumb pun. Actually, you know what it truly reminds me of? There was a chocolate one time at Target.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's ruined now.
No, dude. Chad, say yours first, and then Geiger, I need to hear it from the start.
Okay, reminds me of Kit Kat Big Cat. Go ahead, Geiger.
All right, Geiger.
I have never felt more ashamed to now have to say this again. This is so fucking stupid.
Well, now you have to.
All right. Hey, guys, you know what?
Yeah.
Forget Betty and the Jets. How about Nikki and the Tex? This is delicious. Aren't you glad I sat on that for a good fucking 5 minutes?
Worth
it. Tastes like Big Cat. I will also actually surprisingly give it a love that. It's delicious.
Wow. Damn.
Whew,
It's really
two
good.
loves.
I was planning on like pacing myself because we have all this food to eat, and I found I ate almost like more than half, and I'll probably finish it. It's really good.
Damn.
Two loves and a like. The Tex has become one of the highest rated bars in the history of the show.
Man.
Somehow. Wow.
Good on you, South Africa.
Holy shit.
What a surprise. Well, goodbye Yellow Brick Road, because here we got the Tex. Made no sense. But all right. That's going to be really hard to beat. But if anything can do it, it's a chocolate peanut butter cup. So that's going to be coming up. So there's a little bit of drama. But we do have a segment. And Chad, why don't you talk us through? I think you know more about this than we do.
Yeah, so we're going to drink a chocolate milk because we haven't had enough chocolate tonight. So we're going to do a You Drank Dat here. Now, this is a special delivery to us from my brother, Dave. So thank you very much for sending us these, Dave. Now, this is Slate Chocolate Milk. So I never thought I would say this, but we are about to drink a chocolate milk that came from Kickstarter.
Isn't it a beautiful world?
That's so I got the Kickstarter page open here that my brother ordered these from. So this says Slate Chocolate Milk, the next generation of chocolate milk, less sugar, more protein, lactose free. And the picture on it is these two like broy, douchey looking guys with like glasses of chocolate milk, like doing cheers with their glasses of chocolate milk. They are both very, very punchable. And here's what they had to say. After years of waiting for a, quote, modern chocolate milk to hit the market, we decided to take action and fix everything wrong with this classic, naturally protein-rich category. So I want to stop them right there. How dare you? There is nothing wrong with chocolate milk, you motherfuckers. Because like you, we're trying to be a little bit healthier every day, yet we still have a constant craving for something sweet. So that's why we created Slate. So they say what they did was they put 75% less sugar than regular chocolate milk, 17 grams protein, all natural ingredients, vitamins, lactose free. And so basically they're trying to pretend that chocolate milk is healthy or could be healthy. So fundamentally though, that like some people will try to take these healthy or unhealthy things and try to make them healthy. And I feel like that never works out. Like things are good because they're unhealthy, right?
This chocolate milk, right, and it made actually a fizzy can noise, which is not what you expect with chocolate milk.
Spoiler alert, it does not smell good.
I don't think it smells that... I mean, it smells kind of like Yoo-hoo or something to me.
It's
which
also
is
got
not
that
promising, but...
It's a lot of cutesy like packaging and write it like it says stalk us at Slate Milk on Instagram, like it said follow it, like just stupid, like
and it says we can chocolate milk dat literally, like what the fuck does that mean? So yeah, if you see these guys, give them a good punch.
All right, here's what they've done basically. Now I drink a lot of chocolate milk, and sometimes I'll get like the protein versions of it, like a lot of days I will. Now general chocolate milk, just generic store brand chocolate milk you'll get will have 15 to 17 grams of protein in it anyway. So having 17 grams of protein means absolutely nothing. It's basically the same as chocolate milk. It's just the less sugar. They just taken chocolate milk and they've removed a decent amount of the sugar out of it. I know they make it lactose free, but there's other brands of that now. We tried another one on another episode, the Fairlife chocolate milk. That is better than this.
Lactaid makes their own version too. That's pretty good.
So, Chad, what scale are we rating this on?
So I was actually trying to remember what the Fairlife scale that we used was, and I was like, we could just use that, but I couldn't actually remember what it was, and also I was too lazy to go back and refine the episode. So, instead, we are going to do 3-point scale, starting at the top, got milk, then in the middle, let's go with spot milk. And at the bottom, not milk.
Are you reading a thesaurus?
I might have Rhyme Zone open in another tab.
Do you care to explain spot milk, or do you want to just move on?
It's a spotty, kind of milk, kind of not.
All the clear amount of prep we do for this.
I'm up first. I mean, it's not awful, but it's certainly not good. I mean, I drank maybe a quarter of it, and I'm still standing. So,
what other tab do you have?
Setting that up the entire. I hear everybody clicking Elton John songs.
Keyboard.
The can is not helping it. I know.
No, it's not.
Things taste a little different out of cans than out of bottles, for sure.
Yeah.
The can is not helping this. The taste isn't great. It's missing something. Oh, wait, sugar. So.
And that sweet lactose.
Right. I could drink the whole thing and feel okay. It's not off-putting or anything, but it's worse than chocolate milk. I'd have no reason to switch over from regular chocolate milk to this at any point. And I'm not supporting what has been described to me as a bunch of douchebags. So
that's pretty much anybody with a Kickstarter, right? They're kind of all punchable in their own special way.
I'm going to go a low-level spot milk.
Okay.
So, Geiger.
That's a great sentence you just said. I'm going to go a low-level spot milk.
Geiger, you got an Elton John song ready?
Is it me?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, so here's the thing. I was looking forward to this because I'm, again, lactose intolerant, and so I love chocolate milk, and I don't get it too much, although we have been buying Fairlife more and lactate chocolate milk. This doesn't taste good. That's the problem. It just doesn't. I don't drink a lot of protein shakes and stuff like that, so maybe that's what these kinds of things just taste like. It's just got a weird. I agree that the can does not help it. I think it's that weird metallic tinge to it, and there's just like, as I'm drinking it, I thought, okay, it tastes okay, and then there's just something weird at the end of it that just is kind of bitter. Also, it's thinner than I remember chocolate milk being. It's like a lot more watery.
Yep.
When I drink chocolate milk, I like almost like a thick milk. That makes no sense, but it's like a thicker, creamier kind of drink. So, I had my hopes up for a good chocolate milk, but I don't know. I guess that's why they call it the blues. Sometimes you get your heart broken. So I will give this a not milk. I don't think this is very good at all. This sucks.
All right, Chad.
Yeah, Geiger, you said what needed to be said when you were talking about how watery it was, because this
Who was that?
tastes like somebody took skim.
That was that poor guy just sped up it 4 times. You said what needed to be said. You turned French.
That was Strokes trying to get it out right before he died.
Hey kids, I guess you say what you said.
that was that wrestling guy on the motorcycle trying to drive it down the street. He's like, say what need to be said, and then he smashes into a lamppost.
Smashing in 9 references in one bizarre joke.
Anyway, so this tastes like somebody took some skim chocolate milk. Like they took like a big bowl and they put like 1 part skim chocolate milk and like 35 parts water, right? Like it's not thick and creamy like milk should be at all. It is so watered down. The lack of sugar is like, it just tastes like chocolate water. And that is not chocolate milk. It's chocolate water. So these 2 douchebags, they fucked up. Like it's not good milk. And I'm going to give this a Hakuna Manat milk. Because I have to put an Elton John song in.
I like how Chad's only frame of reference for Elton John is The Lion King, repeatedly.
I don't know any other songs. Just Lion King and Rocket Man. That's the end.
Now that I'm drinking more, I'm downgrading it from a low level spot milk to a high level not milk because it's just not getting the job done.
Yeah. It's no
Great.
good.
Not milk.
So don't
Not milks
don't
all around.
right. Don't buy this is what we suggest. Do not support entrepreneurs. Go buy from the big companies. Give them your dollar.
Full of cow hormones and all kinds of other shit you shouldn't drink.
We hate small businesses here at You Tried Dat. Everyone should support the capitalist machine.
Well, it sounds like those guys are assholes, though. It doesn't. I mean, they're not like mom and pop chocolate milk store. It's like Broseph and Joseph just.
Oh, I mean,
bumping each other.
you should see this one guy's beard, man.
Hey, easy now.
All right. We got one snack.
Well,
more
thanks
snack.
anyway, Dave.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Dave. We do appreciate you doing it.
Yeah.
Honoring our long-standing tradition of shitting all over stuff people have gone out of their way to get for us.
We've got one last snack to go before we leave on, and that's going to be the milk chocolate
Jesus Christ.
peanut butter.
Chad, that's an Elton John song.
Before we better be prepared. Not at all an Elton John song. I just was naming it a Lion King song.
I gotta be all
For
over
this,
the
we
place.
better have a cameo in Kingsman 2. Elton John is in Kingsman 2, for those that haven't seen it.
Spoiler
These
alert.
peanut butter, the peanut butter cups, they come in a little plastic tin. Now they are, I would say, top to bottom, when you set them down, a bit taller than a Reese's cup, and maybe not quite as
They're
wide.
more like an upside down cone shape, right? Whereas the top is significantly wider than the bottom. Now this is Dylan's candy bar. Have you guys ever had anything from Dylan's before? I have not.
No.
Never even heard of them.
It's hard to eat a peanut butter cup. I'm sure Chad can attest to this better than anybody, and not compare it to Reese's cups.
Yeah.
The peanut butter is very creamy. It tastes a lot more like real peanut butter than what's inside of a Reese's,
I'm actually
for better or worse.
Kind of like, I get that a big plus. That was the thing that made it look the most appealing on the package, and actually lives up to the picture.
All right, Geiger, you're up first. What do you think?
I'll try not to take too much time because I won't let the sun go down on me. But I had to say that very carefully because I didn't want to sound like, "Don't let your sun go down on me." Wait, no, that's not what I meant.
That's a Stroke the Clown song.
That's also in the line. It's when Scar is singing to Mufasa. He doesn't want Simba to give him a blowjob.
Yeah, Strokes is down with that.
Yeah, sure. I hope your son goes down on me. Just making it like a jerking motion in the corner. Oh man.
Oh, that's what we meant by Strokes. I just got it.
I need like a glossary to track all these fucking references. This is tasty as shit. I really like this. I think the chocolate's good. I would say the chocolate's not quite as good as the chai spice bar, but it's still good. And I love the creamy peanut butter. Not to be picky, I kind of wish the peanut butter was a little saltier. Like it's a little sweet. The whole thing is a bit like one note sweet, but I think it's really good. I love how creamy it is. It feels like real peanut butter. I like how big the cup is. Again, the proportions are maybe a little off from what you're used to with the regular Reese's cup, but I think it's really good. Oh man, I am torn between a like and a love. I really like it.
You can give two loves. It's okay.
I know. I'm just so stingy. You know what? I'll love it. I love that. It's really good. I wish, again, in a perfect world, the peanut butter would be a little saltier, but I really do. I love how creamy it is. It's really good.
Okay, it's a strong start. Now the peanut butter cup has a real shot here. Chad, what do you think?
Well, it's not a Reese's cup. I will say that.
No, it's not.
But I don't think it's trying to be a Reese's Cup. Whereas, like, when we've tried some of those other ones, like Justin's Cups or something in the past,
Newman's Cups.
I think those were trying to imitate the Reese's Cup model and failing. So this is something trying to do something different. And the creamy peanut butter is outstanding in the middle there. It really carries this thing. The chocolate is very good as well. I like that it's like kind of a, you know, slightly different shape. It's fun. I think there is an alternate universe where I had never eaten a Reese's Cup before, and this podcast is like 80 straight episodes of me just going, I wish this was a Dylan's Candy Bar Milk Chocolate Peanut Butter Cup. So I'm also gonna give this a love dad.
Oh boy,
this is really good.
Pressure, Novak.
I had decided before Chad's rating what my rating was going to be. Here's the thing. The Dylan's Cup. Now Geiger hit on a very important point, and that was the saltiness of the peanut butter. There's not enough differentiation in the sweetness of the chocolate and the peanut butter. It's not quite there. I do like it. I would never, under any circumstance, buy this over a Reese's
No,
Cup
me neither.
at all. And I know,
But that's not what we're doing here.
I know it can also be good, right? But I wouldn't even get close to buying it over Tex, right? Like I understand that I like it, but I wouldn't seek it out, and that's what I think I go with for a love. So
at first, I thought you said buying it over text, like with your phone. I was like, what? And then I understood. Then I got what you meant. I'm like, huh? It's not possible. Don't worry about that.
So unfortunately, I'm going to stop the basket of puppies from delivery, and I'm going to give it a like that.
Wow.
But man, we came close today. We gave two really close efforts at the basket of puppies, but there were likes in a few of them. Now, Geiger, you're the only one who gave two loves to those.
I know.
Chad and I have clear favorites of the two, whereas Chad chose the peanut butter cup, I chose Tex.
Yeah.
That makes you sort of our de facto tiebreaker, right? Which do you feel is better, the peanut butter cup or the Tex bar? And do you have enough left to take a sample and see? Or which one do you feel like you want to reach for again?
Okay, stall for me when I find an Elton John song. Guess what, guys? The bitch is back. No, that is an actual song. Okay.
Philadelphia Freedom.
Yeah. Just start naming them calmly. Rocket Man. All right. You know what? This doesn't have to be a theoretical exercise.
Eat them both together.
I can just eat them. Yeah. Smash them. I want to stack them.
I actually like the chai spice bar better than the Tex.
Really? Oh, no.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
You're just dumb.
You're just dumb, dude. That's dumb.
If you said you like the chocolate milk better,
fucking
then
dumb.
we'd have to have words.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that chocolate milk is dog shit.
I am leaning ever so slightly toward the Tex bar, only because it's got like a...
That a boy!
The peanut butter... I love the peanut butter cup, but the more, like, it is just kind of pure sweetness, whereas, like, the Tex bar has, like, different types of flavors to it. But they're both... I mean, I love them both.
Geiger, you said what didn't need to be said.
Fuck you for saying what didn't need to be said. So, man, what a slobberknocker there today between the Tex and Dylan's.
Real barn burner.
And all positive, really, because even the chai spice ended up in the net positive. So,
yeah, only Dave fucked up our good run of good shit. Giving us a piece of shit drink to drink. Thanks, Dave. I'm kidding, Dave. Thank you.
We're just gonna keep getting pissed at them and then say we're kidding over and over.
Instead of punching those Kickstarter guys, I'm gonna punch my brother. Just kidding, Dave.
Dave, I hope you drive a motorcycle 60 mile an hour down the bottom of a hill. Oh, just kidding. I love you, Dave.
All right, Geiger.
Dave, I hope you get molested by Strokes the Clown. Just kidding.
Dave is of a certain age and size where if he can't fight this clown off, I'm scared. Hercules the clown comes over and starts jerking my dick.
Hercules or Strokules?
Strokules the clown. Oh, he gets jacked and then he starts jacking.
Strokules is 6'5", 260, and he's pure muscle.
He sounds pretty hot, actually.
And he corners Chad in a bouncy castle.
Now, Chad, are you going to Google this one and find like a drawing of someone getting Strokules? It's like a bodybuilding
Somebody just took Kevin
clown.
Somebody just took
Who's
Kevin
having a stroke.
Sorbo and like photoshopped like a clown nose on him or something. It just says
Kevin Sorbo. You don't know any Elton John songs, but you have Kevin Sorbo.
I watched
with
a
the
lot
tip
of
your tongue.
Hercules, the Legendary Journeys, and Xena Warrior Princess back in the day. I
Why?
don't know, what the fuck else is I gonna do with my life?
Anything.
Something productive.
Anything at all.
I
Kickstart some
I
Taco
do
Bell.
regret it because now Kevin Sorbo is a fucking psychopath.
Oh, really?
But yeah, he's like super like alt-right and stuff.
Oh, is he canceled?
Yeah, let's cancel him.
Okay, he's
But
canceled.
we're not canceling Strokules. He's still good.
He's in.
License to stroke. All right. Got to wrap this fucker up somehow. So,
So, Geiger, where can people contact us?
you can contact the Baraboo Clown Museum in Wisconsin if you'd like to enter Strokules into the Hall of Famous Clowns. That is an actual museum. Strokules is probably not an actual clown. You can...
Probably.
I'm just guessing since we came up with him just now. You can...
Fans, let's see that fan art. Send us that Strokules fan art. You tried that at gmail.com.
I want to see that six-pack ripped-ass clown.
I want that inbox flush with Strokules.
All right, seriously, if you want to get in touch with us, give us your thoughts on Elton John, or just tell us to stop. We know we should. You can get a hold of us at youtrydat@gmail.com, hashtag youtrydat on Twitter, our You Tried Dat group on Facebook. We're on YouTube, Instagram, SoundCloud, Stitcher, all the places you can find podcasts. And as always, we greatly appreciate those of you who participate, listen, and let us know about it every week. We really appreciate that. And if you could do it more, that'd be even greater. Again, all jokes aside, thank you, Dave, for procuring our Drink Dat segment today. And yeah, that's the deal.
All right. Before we go, how long? It's that time of the show. How long do you think you could last in the octagon? Right, you're in the octagon. Can you guess who your opponent is?
Shaq?
No.
Shacules?
Elton John.
You okay? You and Strokules,
Okay.
right? You're in the octagon.
In the coctagon.
And just to be clear, Strokules has or has not had a stroke.
That's his finishing move.
Wait, his finishing move is him having a stroke?
Yes.
He just collapses on the
Quite the turnabout.
floor.
Okay, let's say you have to go in the octagon. You're really against a 6'5", 260-pound jacked clown, right? What actually? I know you're gonna lose. Honestly, you're gonna lose. But what do you think? Like, technique do you use if you had to actually fight and a fight? You know you're gonna get destroyed. What do you think is a method that could possibly buy you a little bit of time or get a couple?
Could I grab his water shooting flower and like squirt the water back in his face? Maybe.
You can try.
All right. Well, that's what I do.
Can I pretend to have my own stroke and just collapse on the floor, and then they declare him the winner?
Can I tag in Strokules?
Well, I guess we should end the show. But
No,
we have
let's keep going another hour on stroke killing.
we've got some some good shows coming up, and next week we're going to be finding out some of Chad's favorites. We're going to be doing a 3-part series that'll probably be spread out with some childhood favorites. And first up is Chad's childhood favorites. And we're getting close to the holidays, so we will be we're going to step into Christmas. One last Elton John plug. And so there'll be some fun holiday episodes coming up. So stay tuned and keep listening. Tell your friends. I don't know why you'd tell your friends after all this.
Hey, close personal friend. There's this podcast I know. 3 guys talk about a clown jerking off for 2 hours.
Tell your friends so they know what podcast to blacklist from their app.
All right. Well, that'll do it for this time, but we'll be back next time. We'll be trying out 3 brand new snacks.
Deuces.
Yep.